Okay, 2000 round endurance update for my SIG M18. On this update, I'm going to go over the testing process that I used, the accuracy and test comparisons, the pistol drop test, the magazine drop test, the results of my accuracy test, my mag drop test, and any damages or damage mitigations that I needed, along with any malfunctions. Then I will go over visible wear on the slide, the barrel, the frame, the magazines, and then I will give some conclusions and mostly opinions. All right, methodology for my accuracy test and comparison. Target is a standard 8x11 copy paper target at 25 yards. The groups are 15 ground groups at 0, 500, 1000, 1500, and 2000. Ammo used for the test was CCI Blazer. The pistol drop tests, planned drop tests for this were at 250, 750, 1250, and 1750 rounds. The distance from drop was head height and surface is compacted gravel. For the magazine drop test, it is 2 sets of drops for every 1,000 rounds, or for every batch of 1,000 rounds. The mags for the test are fully loaded, and the distance dropped is shoulder height onto concrete on the magazine floor plate. The minimum number of drops per magazine is 5. Okay, the results on that. My first group for my SIG was 10 out of 15 versus an 11 out of 15 on the M9. Last group was unusually high at 12 out of 15 versus a low 10 out of 15. I'm going to say the accuracy is about the same. However, most of my groups were invalid due to damage because the sights came loose between 500 and 1700 rounds right after the second set of drops. On the mag drop test, the only breakage was a single follower, and it didn't affect the performance of the magazine at all. There were scratches and scrapes on the floor plates and some finish wear, but that was all cosmetic. Damage mitigation, well, the sights fell off. I had to use Loctite on them and then torque them back down. Then I had to do it again, and I basically spent a good chunk of 500 to 1500 round portion just troubleshooting the sights. Malfunctions. There was one failure to extract at approximately 800 rounds. That was actually in the middle of the portion where the sights were falling off, and the screw was actually. I think the sights falling off might have had something to do with it. There were also 6 light primer strikes in that particular period as well, while the sights were falling off. And I can't determine if that was the Turkish ammo that I used or not because it mysteriously cleared up around the same time that I fixed the sights. Alright, so kind of had this happening for 2 sets. You get one really good group and it just opens up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 in the circle versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 in the circle, but I had 9 extra rounds. Visible wear on the slide and barrel. After repairs, the sights operated normally. Slide rails and just general wear surfaces, they all looked normal for about 2,000 rounds. On the striker assembly and the locking lugs, there was no damage. It was just basic surface wear. Same goes with any locking surfaces or any other pieces of metal that you would normally worry about. Visible wear on the magazines, mostly cosmetic, outside of that one follower, which is pictured on the right. The portion of the magazine that broke off was actually just not as it's not important for feeding, so it hasn't affected performance of the magazine. Plastic is good. It's just scratched. Metal's good. It's just got some finish worn off on it because it's been rolling, or it's been getting dropped and thrown around. So conclusions. Damage versus repairs. There was almost no damage to this aside from the rear sights, and the repairs on that took basic tools and thread lock. Accuracy, it's as far as I can tell, it's as good as my M9 and my PX4. As far as my opinions go, the repairs and malfunctions, the sights are easily repairable in the field. There's not enough data for me on my light primer strikes. As far as my feelings go on things like the sights, the sights are fine, but I hate them in that I, they work. They work as well as my other guns, but I just hate that front sight post and the way it interfaces with the rear sight post. The trigger also feels like a trigger. Not good, not bad. It's a trigger. My opinion on the magazine costs, these are extremely expensive, and if they actually broke during my testing, it'd be very or fairly prohibitive, cost prohibitive to replace them. However, they haven't, which is good. So I guess I'm going to just take that as it is and see how they go for the next 3,000 rounds. And next up, 2,000 rounds of 124 grain Turkish 9mm.